is Maggie Beckmeyer, and I'm so thrilled to be introducing you to Jerry Stichter, who is our Hall of Fame 2013. We go a long way, don't we?
We've done
working together.
We've done this a long time together, and it's been great, and it's just such an honor to be here.
I was just so pleased that it was you, and I kind of snuck in and knew ahead of time. But so tell me, how long have you been in the business?
I went to auction school. It was a summer school, an itinerant teacher named Colonel Knotts out of Gallipolis, Ohio. I saw an ad in the paper. I was teaching in the Troy Junior High system at the time, or high school system, and I saw the ad that said auction school at the Holiday Inn in Sydney, Ohio. And so I went up to Sydney, Ohio, and attended the class. And I thought, is this for real? If I pay this man, is he coming back next week? I was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And so
more structure than that.
So the next week I went, and the next week, and the next week, and about the 9th week he said, "There's a couple of you haven't paid yet." I said, "Well, I think he's coming back." And I went up and told him. I said, "Sir, I wonder when he never asked for the money."
Oh, really?
Till the end. And so that was.
Well, he trusted a lot too.
He was. That was in 1974. He was willing to sign our apprentice papers, and then the spring of '75, I began work with Don Hogstrom. And that it was part-time and weekends at that time while I was teaching school, and then it was the school and not school, and then finally in 1982 I said, I'm doing this full-time, and in 1989 I struck out on my own.
Yeah, I know you're real active in national and everything, because I've worked with you, and I know how you are really dedicated to OAA and NAA, and I'd like, if you can, to tell this is going to be for other new coming auctioneers, how it's benefited you and what you think about working with the Ohio Auctioneers and all the good things you do for us.
Well, you benefit by being with people and having the empathy for your fellow man, I guess, but also for the organization and for your clients and your customers out there. And as you do that, you find that this organization, the Ohio Auctioneers Association, the National Auctioneers Association, are sharing groups of people. They are not, well, just meet, go to a meeting and go home. And as you do that, they asked me to be on the election committee, 1989 in Cincinnati. I went because it was in Cincinnati, it was close.
Sure.
And so it was easy to go, but I worked an auction on Friday night of the convention. I had to go back home. I went back home and back, but I met some people there, and after that, I made a commitment. I made the commitment to go to the Certified Auctioneers Institute. That was all part of this NAA, OAA, and Joe Flatter, auctioneer, Ohio auctioneer, and the OAA member said, "You need to go to the CAI," and he made the point of why. He said, "I'm not going to do it, but you're going to do it," and so I did that, and can't name the number of people that from that CAI class that I met. They went on to become Hall of Fame members, presidents of the association, and what you realized by being an organization that we're all equal. We're all equal. It doesn't matter how many's in that family, how many times they've done it. When you crawl up there in the auction block, you have the same ability to be successful, than anybody else has, and that the burden gets on your shoulders, but you can do it.
When did you graduate from CAI?
1989, Cincinnati.
Oh, God.
I missed graduation because I was doing an auction.
Oh, that's right.
I
you
went
said
home.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know
That's
the
right.
schedule. I had the auction schedule. I went, there's nothing for me to do at a national convention. The auction's in, 70, 80 miles away. I'll just run home and do it and go back. That was the night you were getting your award for your CAI.
Oh, my. Are you? How long have you been married? I know your wife Deb, and she's wonderful.
We were married in 1983. We met at the Joint Vocational School. We were both educators. Part of my background is I went to Ohio University, graduated with a master's degree in education, and planned to teach political science, history, government, those type of things, and never did a look at that. It was the era of Vietnam War era. I took a job back in my hometown of Troy, Ohio, and they asked me to teach special education. And I asked if they were going to pay me. And they said yes, then that's what I'll do. And I had no idea whatsoever what that entailed. But it was a great experience because you learned that it was about people. That the children I had at that time were probably going to stay right there in that community, and the work was important, My parents instilled in me that work was important.
Right. Good ethic.
And you know, that work ethic, carries you a long way.
For absolutely. So do you have children, Jerry?
I have one son. He retired from the Air Force. He is a Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, retired. He was in special operations in the Air Force, and I have to put a word in for him. A lot of his Air Force time was spent out of uniform. He worked special duties and special operations type of events or tactics, and he worked as a medical officer, a medical personnel. And you know, when he retired, you know, the plaque that they gave him was probably his watchword. It's not the uniform, it's the attitude.
Oh, gosh.
And you know, and so, and I've said, I guess I try to tell the staff. I mean, yes, we can wear our logo things, and we want to be branded as the professionals out there, but we also have to act that part. You have to, you know, if you do that part, if you can be the professional, you know, then the rest begin to take care of itself.
Well, I think this is very fortunate to have you in the Hall of Fame. I'm very proud to know you and have you in that. And I know one of the things you and I talked about when we did these interviews together was, what can we give the new auctioneers as direction coming in? Do you have anything you'd like to say, or anything about any of your options?
Well, they said in the introductory remarks, the staff laughs about it. It's like, yeah, they'll carry a piece. The new staff member will carry the thing out of the house. Where's he want it? It's like, just set it down. Why? Where? Right here. Well, it doesn't go right here. No, if it's not moved 3 times, it's probably not where it goes. And I guess what we're saying, and you know, what they understand is, you know, you need to make the second effort. The first effort's easy. You know, we can get to the first step. You know, it's the second step. And it's not just about chattel property, personal property, real estate, whatever phase of the auction business you'd want to be in, or whatever phase of business that you want to pursue. You know, it's pursuing that little extra detail, you know, to make it work. That I'm not going to be satisfied. And from a school teacher background, we've always said, we don't know when we do these auctions if we can get an A+, but we're not going to get a C or a D. Yeah, we're going to be in that B+ range. You know, that's you know, we can't control it all, but the word to anybody starting is, you know, do your due diligence. You know, strive for your best. You know, when I first started, a friend of my father's an auctioneer. I think I helped one auction with him years and years ago. When you start saying years and years ago, that's indicative, right? But he said, you know, this is the promise you make. You know, I'll do the best I can on the day you choose with what you give me to sell. And if you do that, if you continue to do that, you will, you know, you can be successful. Because it doesn't matter what project you take under or want to do, those words will, I'm going to do the best I can on the day I'm given with the project.
That's really true. Now, we have the last free enterprise, I always say, with the auctioneer. You know, where do you see the auction profession going, Jerry? With, you know, in the future, do you think there's going to be changes in it? Do you think that?
Sure, the changes occur. You know, my grandmother didn't have electricity.
Right.
I mean, you know, the relatives went through that phase of not having electricity and horse and buggy, you know, on, and we'll do the same. Yeah, you know, I was going to teach history, but history's there. You know, we're going to repeat what we're doing, and we're going to make it better as we do it. And it's organizations like the OA, like the NA, like first timers coming to the convention. If you're a first time, if you've never attended, attend. I'll repeat that. If you've never attended, attend. I was scared. I wanted to take off my first timer thing. You know, they give you a badge and says, you know, they label you. You're a first timer. It's like, I'm going to hide that. I've been in the business too long. I've done this business for several years. I don't want to be that. But don't, you know, go forward. We can go forward. We can make those changes, and the industry will do that because there are young people and older people who are willing to make a commitment to the profession. You make a commitment to the profession, the other things, it's just like studying for a test. If you make the commitment to study, the rest of it will begin to take care of itself.
Do you see online taking over our options, or do you think people will still like the camaraderie of a real live bid call?
Think of it in this manner. This is how I approach this. Or if your parents leave you a note on the blackboard or they look you in the face, which is going to be more effective?
Actually.
that's, you know.
And there are people will say that to you, won't they? They just love the.
There's a certain point in time, sometimes the note on the blackboard will work. You know, please do this. Other times it takes, you know, this is what we're doing it together, and making that commitment. And so that one-on-one, one to a crowd, that face-to-face commitment always will be effective. You know, it's just the best form of communication.
Thank you so much. My name is Maggie Beckmeyer, and this is our newest inductee, Jerry Stichter, 2013, and I wish you the very best.
Thank
of
you.
everything.
Thank you.